Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ, and happy 27th Tuesday in Ordinary Time. So, if you're anything like me, you're a doer. You love to do stuff, to get stuff done. There's nothing like having your to-do list, and then as you just check off each little thing as you get it done, right? That I love it. It's great. But you know what? Doing is not everything. Right? There's something actually that's much more important than doing, and it is being. And brothers and sisters, if we don't live our being right, it's going to make our doing a lot more complicated and a lot less peaceful. In our gospel today, we read about Martha and Mary. Traditionally, just two important images for doing and being. Martha, there she is. She's working so hard, and God bless her because she is. She's working so hard. She's the doer. And then you have Mary. She's sitting at the feet of Jesus. She's living her being, right? She just is. She's being in the presence of Jesus. She's listening to him. She's attentive to him. She's receiving him with love. I mean, just put yourself in that moment. Imagine, what was Jesus saying? What would it have been like to be sitting at his feet and just taking him in? So Mary is this powerful image of being. And if we use other words, we could say that, Mary is this image of contemplation. And Martha is this image of action, or Mary in prayer, and Martha and apostolate. Now, it's not a question of either or, it's both and, but there's a priority to it. Prayer must come first. Why? Because it's the necessary thing, as Jesus says in today's gospel. No one can take it away from us. It's got to come first. And the beautiful thing is that when we spend time in prayer, united with Christ, right, living our being in Jesus, then we are going to have so much more clarity and so much more peace as we fulfill our responsibilities and as we work, most especially as we try to share the gospel with other people. And it makes sense, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not just about doing stuff. It's not just about doing what we want to do. It's about fulfilling the will of God. And where else do we hear or receive God's will in our lives than prayer? It's when in prayer that we open up our ears, our eyes, right, our hearts to God's will. So he speaks to us. He directs us along his way for me personally, and then we go and fulfill it. Then we go and do it. But if we do it the other way around, we just work, and then we just try to fill in some time, if we have time, for God, it's not going to make sense, because more often than not, we're just doing what we think we're supposed to do, but it's not really God's will anyway, and we're miserable. So brothers and sisters, if you want more peace in your life, pray. Pray first. Take some time, set aside for the Lord in silence. Listen to him, just like Mary, sitting at his feet. I mean, beautiful. We need to do that. Sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to him in prayer, so that can, inspire us to then go and do with a lot more meaning and a lot more purpose. And so brothers and sisters, let's go to Mother Mary and ask her to help us to not just be a bunch of doers, but to be beers first and foremost, being in the presence of Jesus in prayer, so that we can then go forth and spread the great good news with peace and joy.